Good-looking shot right here. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. And the hole is cut exactly 160 yards from here. Down, little Sheba. Down!
Rich, a little bit of grass in between ball and grooves. There's nothing going to stop that. That's out of here.
That is a FedEx special right there. Overnight air. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
And getting ready for the putt. Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Not going so well for him. He has this for bogey. +1 in the early going.
Bet, bud.
Did the job right there.
We bet.
Frank, this is a nice-looking hole. Not long, only 371 yards, but challenging in its own way.
It is challenging. The best approach here, really, is a conservative tee shot to set up an aggressive second. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And that one lands in the first cut. Right.
Interesting choice coming out here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this live.
7.5.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank. Super.
I'm bombing on these niggas.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McIlroy, ready with his approach. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I'd say.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Oh, you hate to miss from that distance.
Even par, currently.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Now to the third hole, a par 4, 471 yards. Frank, break this hole down for us.
Well, the trouble appears down that left side with the series of bunkers, but you've got to take into account the trees that are well positioned down the right side. Plus, as you can see, this fairway is not exactly flat.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Frank, what's the best way to get at this hole location here at number 3?
If there's a desired shot pattern, it's a little draw off the tee and a little draw in. And the reason why, if you look at the shape of that green, it's on a 45-degree angle to the left. So it really does suit a shot coming in from the right.
Getting set now for the second shot here at hole number 3, par 4.
All right.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
No doubt they'll be happy with that shot. Well played. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Just requires a little bit of focus. Well, that's how you keep a round going. Make putts just like that. Not a gimme, but well within his range. -1 in early going. Now to the fourth, 192 yards and a pretty tough hole location here today.
Thanks. Thank you.
It's 180 yards now to the flagstick.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green.
Always tough to get a decent flight out of the rough. And you could see that ball was never soaring out of that light.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Not in the fairway, but not too bad. Just in that first cut. Well, how do you like that? He's holed it. Just a phenomenal play right there. He needs this for bogey. So, 2 over par for the round. Well, here we are at the 5th hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310. That's fine. Second shot.
Good looking shot right here. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. Well, bring the hammer. Why don't you? Setting up an eagle opportunity. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contacts. You have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hear on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another putt.
Good work there. Now to even par. Well, the Architect Pete die is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3-6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard? Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. Might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
So this will be the third shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. Didn't hit it in there tight, but still with a good chance.
Yeah, if that's his worst shot at the end of the day, then I still think he's played well.
You like that right there, Frank?
Beautiful lag putt. Great pace.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. This game's amazing. You're rolling along, life is beautiful, and then bang.
Step away from the controller.
Total depression. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific.
But this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on a tee. He's good contact.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Shouldn't be a problem here. How about that? 4 under par.
Going to move on with a par in his pocket.
Two over for the day. .555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Up with the big boys now, Frank.
Well, we saw that previous tee shot go 310. This one's further.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Good lie in the fairway. Good chance to make something happen here. Frank, for a long time, the stadium course at PGA West was thought to be too difficult for the professionals. How'd that happen?
It wasn't really unusual. A lot of Pete Dye courses, when they first came out, with the wooden bulkheads, so visually intimidating. It was such a departure from traditional golf design that players, they weren't very receptive to it. They thought it was too punishing, and yet now, we look some 20, 30 years later, Pete Dye's going to go down with the McKenzies, the Donald Rosses, the CB McDonald's as one of the most innovative and one of the great architects that actually changed the direction that the game's gone.
Back in the late 1980s, the Tour Pros actually refused to go back to the stadium course. They signed a petition to get it removed as one of the host courses, a ban that effectively ran until 2015. But now the Career Builder Challenge will return to the rotation in 2016. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
So 1 over par for the round.
I'm out of here. Take that shower, get ready for bed.